So for this part of the video, I'm going to go through the reporting sections, also the College SAR, the Smart Target Review and the Scheme of Work Assessor. We covered the data analysis tool in the previous section, and it allowed you to see how you can run sets of data through this, and it allows you to analyse strengths and areas for improvement. Great for the SAR writing process, but also for deep dives. So I'm going to jump straight in now just to show you an example of what the pack you might put together, for example, for your SAR when you're looking at writing your individual SARs. So you could have used the data analysis tool to analyse the student feedback, provide strengths and areas for improvement, and some conclusions, the attendance data, English and maths. So what we've done there is we've run all that data through there and built this essentially starter for 10 for writing your departmental SAR. Don't forget, also brilliant for individual deep dives as well. So I'm just going to go back to these. So these have been written against the current Ofsted inspection framework. And once we hear about the consultation, we will transfer everyone over to the new Ofsted AI Equality Assistance that aligns with the new framework. So these are your sections here which have been written against the Education Inspection Framework, and they serve two purposes. So great for regular quality reporting, following an internal quality review or a deep dive, but also as suggested, as we've given an example of here, good starting point to start writing your SAR, rather than starting, as we all do, with that blank piece of paper. You've also got the governance section here, which is for professionals to write the governance SAR, and the prompts have been written against the AOC's Code of Governance, and I'll go into the other sections a little bit later. So I'm just going to demo how to use these tiles. So you've got all your data together, for example, here, and you've got all your required data for, say, your departmental SAR. So I'm just going to take all of that. You've got your feedback, attendance, etc., etc. Take all of that. And for the purpose of this, I'm just going to copy and paste, but you can upload PDFs. So Control C, and I'll show you that a bit later, how to do that. I'm just going to just show you two of these. So I'll run that through the Quality of Education writer. Control V. And as you can see already, again, I've not had to put any prompts in, time saved here, not having to do that, not have to refer to the Ofsted Inspection Framework, Education Inspection Framework. This is already taking that data and starting to look at it in terms of intent, implementation, and impact, which is fantastic. I've not had to do anything there. It's also giving some suggestions there for areas for improvement. So I'm going to just do the same just to show you again how easy it is, and I will run that through. Let's put it through behaviours and attitudes. So it's just ask you, it'll always prompt you here. I will then generate a detailed report on students' behaviour, either PDF form or paste it in, and only, solely, most importantly, on your data provided, this dynamic data I'm entering here. And there we go. Just let that load for a second. There we go. And just as a bit of an overview, you've got your introduction. It's got some of the breakdown from learning walks, expectations of behaviour, attendance, motivation and attitudes, etc. And then it's got these areas for improvement. Okay, so that you can either use that for deep dives, for individual sets of data, or if you're producing your self-assessment report. What you can do then, and I'll just give you an example, is when you've produced your SAR and you've ran it through the different education inspection framework sections, you'll probably have something similar to this. So you've got that section there with the equality of education. You've got your leadership and management, behaviours and attitudes, etc. What I can do with that then is take that. We have got already some areas for improvement and suggestions for improvement. What I can do now is take that, and I could upload it, but just again, it's a little bit faster to paste. Control C, and I'm going to take that through my QIP to give me my departmental QIP then. So paste that in. What you'll see straight away, and as I suggested before, what this does is it looks at root cause as well as intervention strategies for areas for improvement, and they are all informed by outstanding Ofsted reports that we have uploaded to the AI quality assistant. So again, you've not had to prompt, you've not had to go and look at Ofsted reports when you're looking at areas for improvement, and that just gives you a breakdown there, which is quite nice from that pack I have put in. Now, sometimes certain colleges, I quite like working from tables, might want this in a table format. So for when they're sharing, it's in an easier to read format rather than just say a report. So you can prompt it. Could you produce this in a table format with milestones and dates? Approve the prompt. And again, that will pop that into a table. And as discussed in the previous video, you could actually do this for CP to inform your CPD training as well. There you go. And just again, copy and paste that into a Word document. So that's that. And then back to the screen so we can look at some of the other functionality now. So I'm just going to go through the College SAR function. This is great for querying, and what that does is when we set up the system with yourself, you have all of your departmental SARs uploaded, and this serves in two ways. And unfortunately, I can't demo this because due to confidentiality, we can't show individual college SARs. But just to give you a flavour, and I do say to dip in and start looking at this, is this works by aggregating your departmental SARs, for example, and then helps with that starting point to write your cross-college SAR. But it's even better, well, not better, but it's a great function that's even more useful, which a lot of the colleges are finding really useful, is for interrogating your individual SAR. So you can ask any questions. So sharing good practice, for example, or asking and querying which departments have good employer engagement, which departments have the highest rate of attendance. So it's really, really useful function there as part of quality assurance. The other tool we've got is the Smart Target Review, which was produced in response to a visit to one of the colleges. And this saves so much time, and it not only looks and analyses those smart targets, it provides, again, these areas for suggestion. I'm just going to show you, first of all, there we go. So these are some smart targets we have put together, and as you can see, some of them are not too bad, some of them are not smart. So there we go. And you've got quite a few sets of data there, and again it's that time taken where you need to work with the tutor to rewrite those, take them back to them and suggest areas for improvement. And these would be great for the smart targets if you set them with staff as well, if you needed to do anything around smart targets with staff as well, quite useful, or apprentices, etc. So Control C, that data, Control V, and again without the need to prompt. That's taken those SMART targets there you go, but you must have as part of your SMART targets a student ID to help identify, just to advise there. Again, the time saved, the hours reviewing those individual learning targets. And as we know, we all work in education, setting good targets is often a challenge for many teachers. And it not only helps with quality assuring targets, but will also provide feedback, as you can see, and recommendations as they're popping up here, with reworded targets. Again, it's that time saved. And I know this has saved lots of time for lots of colleges, and we've had really good feedback. And what you can do with that, now it's loaded, to copy it. And there you go, it's put that into a nice table. You might notice on your system, mine's maybe not as advanced as yours, these might be ticks. With AI, everything's not completely exact. So the person sitting next to you, they may have ticks and you might have just wording. That's the nature of AI. Okay, back to my sweeper, and the very last thing I want to show you is the Scheme of Work Assessor. I'll just open that up. And this will critically, it won't write schemes of work. What it will do is it will critically review your scheme of work against the required headings and content. I've got an example here, but what I'm going to do is just show you how to upload a PDF. So I've got choose PDF file here, and then I've got this anonymised scheme of work. I can just select and that will upload. So it's easy as that to upload documents. It'll take a couple of seconds. A second, that's my internet is a little bit slow today. There we go. And as you can see what that's done, and again it's that time saved if you're doing any analysis of schemes of works with staff members. As with the SMART targets, great to take that, start to look at different areas, so intent, the strengths, because you need to report on strengths as much as areas for improvement. Gives you some suggested text as well as with the SMART targets. Oops. And then at the bottom, what it usually does is produce, a nice summary of recommendations. So that is the Quality Assistant. I hope you have found this second section of the training video useful. Thank you.